You can always count on folk just throwing all kind of silly stuff out. So you got these people whining and complaining after Vice President Kamala Harris released her black agenda. You got some people saying, oh my God, it's not detailed enough, it's not specific enough, it didn't mention this, didn't mention that, it doesn't have this. You know, when you ask these people, well, can you please tell me specifically what it is you want them to deal with? They actually can't answer the question with any detail. So y'all know I don't watch Fox News because I like my brain cells. So I came across this video on Twitter, which I found to be baffling. And I really have no idea what the hell Charles Payne is talking about in this segment. So allow me to deconstruct. Press play.
Black men have to get over the fact that you got a woman on the ticket.
Right.
And are you afraid to vote for her is basically what he did and challenged them.
A damn shame. It's like, it's so insulting. Could you imagine a white man talking down to black people like that, particularly black men? That's our issue, women. It's not the fact that I don't have a job or my job is not existing or, you know, I'm in a world where, by the way, progressives are erasing me from movies, from billboards, from opportunities. The Democratic Party, particularly progressives in Hollywood, Madison Avenue, Washington, D.C., Wall Street, they have erased the black man. There's no opportunities for black men anywhere in their...
Freeze. He just said Hollywood, progressives in Hollywood, Wall Street, all these places are erasing black men. They don't have jobs. Charles, you're on Fox Business. You're supposed to be a business anchor. You do know that under Biden-Harris, the black unemployment rate was at its lowest since they started tracking black unemployment. You do know that. Black men are being erased in Hollywood. That's probably news to Sam Jackson and Morris Chestnut and Denzel Washington and John David Washington and on and on and on. Then he throws in Wall Street. So I'm curious, Charles, where are all of the conservatives who are saying, black men, I welcome you with open arms? Please, by all means, show me, especially on Wall Street, Charles. Oh, but you only say progressives, which means that if we had to start running some numbers, Charles, that means that we would be seeing a plethora of black men being embraced and hired by white conservatives. Because that's really the flip side of what you just said. Press play.
And I think a lot of it centers around what they perceive as to be too much toxic masculinity. They hate black masculinity. They hate it. And they've gone to war with it. And black men have noticed it. And guess what? They're saying, we're not going to take it anymore. Give you an example. By the way, they're tired of being pimped. Mm-hmm. Brothers are tired of being pimped.
Hold that. I find that to be real interesting, Charles, because didn't the network where you work at, Charles, do this? Is this your network, Charles? I mean, just correct me if I'm wrong, Charles. Fox News pays $10 million settlement to settle racial, gender-biased lawsuits. This is May 16th, 2018. The story's from NPR. It says that the parent company of Fox News has paid approximately $10 million in settlements with 18 former employees, according to two sources. Down to the deal. The cases arose from intense scrutiny of Fox's workplace culture after it was convulsed by a sexual harassment scandal. Please, by all means, Charles, was Fox News upset with the toxic masculinity of black people? So you want to explain that? See, I love how y'all you just throwing out stuff. You got no facts, no backup, no research, no knowledge, no nothing, but you just, hey, let me just throw some stuff out. And you got Bill Hemmer, he don't know what the hell you talking about. And the woman sitting next to him, they ain't got no clue about black people. So they're not gonna push back because they figure, oh, the black man sitting here, he surely has to know. Press play.
Kamala Harris is going to do something to legalize marijuana. As they were pushing for this, all these states, the legalization thing, every time they put black people in the commercials, front row, it's opportunities for minorities. This is an article from 2022. Payne, talking about Congressman Donald Payne at the time, outraged that New Jersey denied cannabis licenses to all black-owned businesses who applied. To every single one. None. But they had the ads, black kids and black people making money from this. But when it came through, they gave them zero. They give them zero every single time.
Freeze. So Charles brings up an article from New Jersey. First of all, let me remind you, Charles, that was the state of New Jersey. Donald Payne is a congressman. So you are trying to equate cannabis licenses with legalizing marijuana. That's two separate conversations. Okay, so while you are talking about that, and let me be real clear, Charles, because I'm so glad that you are so concerned about this story. There are many folks like yours truly who have reported on this, who have been advocating for this as well, and have also been demanding changes to these state laws because many of them have been hurting the very people who are helped. But I love it how, Charles, you think that's only in blue states. Again, Charles, by all means, can you show me how conservatives in red states are just so welcoming to black men? How they are laying out the black carpet for black men? Could you please show me how they are creating? Oh, I'm sorry. It's your guy with the lawsuits that target the Fearless Fund. It's conservative lawyers and conservative attorney generals. Remember after the affirmative action decision, the Supreme Court, that dealt with colleges and universities, Charles? What did Senator Tom Cotton do? Send letters to law firms telling them that their programs to increase black lawyers was unconstitutional. Charles, please, prove me wrong. Show me where you criticize Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton on your show. Charles, by all means, show me where you criticized these Republican attorneys generals who said that we're going after these programs. As a matter of fact, Charles, I'm gonna help you out. I would love to hear you, Charles Payne. And Charles, I've been on your show. You know me. I got your phone number. You got my phone number. Please, Charles, I would love for you to defend this program on your show. Los Angeles School District Black Student Achievement Program upended, targeted by conservative Virginia group. A federal civil rights complaint lodged by a conservative Virginia group has led LA Unified to end racial preferences in a program aimed at helping struggling black students. So right here, the Virginia-based group Parents Defending Education, whose mission is to oppose destructive practices in schools, including policies related to race, sexual orientation, and gender identity, had filed a complaint in July 2023 with the Federal Office for Civil Rights against BSAP. It alleged the program violated the Constitution and the Civil Rights Act of 1964 by providing extra education services based on a student's race. The Virginia group's trustees include Edward Bloom, who founded the organization behind the lawsuit leading to the 2023 Supreme Court ruling according to tax filings. Please, by all means, Charles, show me where you are critical of them. A program to help struggling black students. A program to help struggling black students succeed in school in order for them to be able to get jobs, build wealth, buy homes, help a family. But, Charles, please show me the evidence where you criticize their actions. Because see, here you are, oh my God, but black men don't have jobs and they're being shunned out and frozen out of commercials and movies and Wall Street and Hollywood and ad agencies. Okay, Charles, since you brought up ad agencies, please show me the evidence, Charles Payne, of you standing up and calling out these lily white ad agencies. Please show me the evidence. Here's an article, July 20th, 2023. Ad Age. Agencies owned or run by white execs jumps to 90%. Survey shows diversity actually worsened in some areas, such as creative last year. Charles Payne, show me the evidence where you went on Fox Business, on the show that you anchor, and called out these agencies. And if you did, great. But if you didn't, how are you going to raise the issue in opposition to the vice president's plan, but you didn't say nothing right here? Go ahead, press play.
Every single time. And guess what? Black men are waking up. They're not wanted in the white progressive world. They're not wanted. And they're waking up to this and they're pushing back.
Wow.
Do you think that they...
Hold up, put that on pause. See, I already showed y'all. Hell, Charles, black men weren't even wanted at Fox News. See, I love how you, black men, not wanted in the progressive world. Really? Okay, Charles. I dare you to do this, Charles. I dare you to run the numbers. See how many black men work for Republican United States senators. I dare you to run the numbers to see how many black men are working for Republican members of the U.S. House. See, she got all this smoke for progressives. Okay, I dare you, Charles, on your show on Fox Business to show the same righteous indignation on the Republican side. But you and I know you ain't gonna do that. Because you and I know who cut your check. In fact, Charles, since you got all this smoke for progressive, how many black men at Fox News and Fox Business? In fact, let me pull his name up. In fact, didn't y'all used to have a black president at Fox Business? And didn't Suzanne Scott, the CEO of Fox News, fire him? So please tell me, Charles, how welcoming is your network? Matter of fact, Charles, see, I love it when you start saying stuff like this here. Because Charles, don't you work for the same man who screwed over Keenan Ivory Wayans and the Wayans family when it came to In Living Color? See, I remember there was a show called In Living Color that helped make Rupert Murdoch real rich. And I remember when Fox launched the FX cable network and y'all started running reruns of In Living Color on the network, and that cost Keenan Ivory Wayans millions of dollars in residuals in the syndication market. And that's when Keenan Ivory Wayans and the Wayans family quit the show, and y'all tried to keep it going, but you couldn't do it without the brilliance of the Wayans family. So you tell me, Charles, you ever brought that up to Rupert Murdoch? You ever raised that with the Fox Entertainment executives? Now, I know Rupert sold Fox Entertainment, sold it over to Disney. But since you want to talk about how progressives or don't like black toxic masculinity and they don't want to support black men, they ain't helping black men, your boss did that. Your boss, yes, your big boss, Rupert Murdoch, screwed over a black man named Keenan Ivory Wayans out of millions of dollars by running episodes of In Living Color on his cable network, thus cheating Keenan out of millions upon millions of dollars he could have made in the syndication market. That's what your white conservative boss did to a black man. Y'all go ahead and press play.
For those who are not inclined to vote for Kamala Harris, will they sit it out and not vote, or will they vote for President Trump?
I think the majority will vote for President Trump. This is not a sort of, hey, protest, you're going to miss me kind of thing. This is like, okay, this is a guy, by the way, for all of the media attacks against Trump, he has reached out to black voters from day one. Even when inside the Republican Party, all the experts, right? And we have a few of them who come through the building. It's a mistake, like that, like when they say don't campaign here, don't campaign there. All these experts who, by the way, are not at the top of the ticket, told them not to reach out to black voters. This is from the very beginning. He goes to the Bronx. He goes to these different places. He's reached out to black voters in a way that no Republican candidate ever has. Despite the fact that they said, well, your return on investment will be nil. He still has gone out and done that, and people appreciate that.
Yeah, one more thing for that New York Times poll. 47% of African-American voters, a plurality, said crime in big cities had gotten out of control.
Sure.
Well, no duh.
Yeah.
They care about it, too.
Sure, of course, that black people care about it. Listen, when I sit with my friends and we talk, yeah, they're all registered Democrats, and most of them are loathed, have never voted for a Republican. But when you listen to our conversations, you would think it was a room full of 10 Republicans. You know, I mean, it's time to say, hey, whether you talk out loud, because, you know, this whole cancel culture has been existing in our black community for a long time. Either you keep it real, but when you want to be yourself, it's not keeping it real, right? You keep it real or you're kicked out. People are saying, forget about it. I need to take care. Every one of these initiatives, by the way, Kamala Harris is talking about. Mentorship, apprenticeship, these are all buzzwords. These are all buzzwords. You know, I'm 23 years old. Now you want to give me an apprenticeship? You're not even talking about long-term solutions for my children. None of this is for long-term. Oh, health initiative, get the health initiative. Now they're going to help black people in health? They're going to expand screening, preventative screenings. That's not helping. That's not helping. That's the kind of thing when they tell black people, go out and improve your credit. For what? To be a better consumer? I mean, all of this stuff is ridiculous. This is all the stuff this is in their bag of tricks. But the bags of tricks, it's old, it's got cobwebs on it, and it's left black people wanting and hurting in this country.
We can even hit K through 12 education.
What you just heard there was a busload of bullshit. First of all, Charles, you know you lying. You know you lying by saying, oh my God, Trump has gone all of these places. He has been aggressive in recruiting up the black people. Charles, stop lying. I mean, bruh, I get dancing for a check, but damn, you got some Gregory Hines, Sammy Davis Jr. tap shoes on right now. Cause you just straight ass lying. You know you lying. Is Black Republican? Let me ask you this, Charles. When Lord Trump took over the Republican Party, what happened to their Black outreach program? I'll wait. Did the Black outreach person quit when Trump took over in 2017? I'll wait. Come on, bro, I got receipts. I got receipts. And then you're like, well, I sit with my friends and these things happen and Trump is going to the Bronx and he's going to play. Or what, his tennis shoes? Or what, his mugshot? Or what, he think black folks gonna buy that cheap ass $100,000 watch made in China? Charles, come on. And oh, look at this here. I mean, they're talking about screening. We don't need that. We don't need screening. We don't need screening for prostate cancer. We don't need screening for glaucoma. We don't need screening. What the hell are you talking about? Charles, in fact, your man Trump opposed the Affordable Care Act. Oh my God, they ain't done nothing for black. Okay, Charles, when did Trump announce his platinum plan? When did he announce it, Charles? In October of 2020. Oh, so you're criticizing Harris for announcing a plan in October 2024. But you lauded his plan, right? When the last time you heard him talking about his plan? When the last time you heard him break down his plan, Charles? Again, I just want to know. See, Charles, when you also said, they've done nothing for black people. Black men are like, no, they done. Look at this. They got mentoring, and they got this, and they got, oh my goodness, and they got this, and I don't know why they got all these things. Go to my iPad. All I'm gonna do is scroll. Did any of this stuff happen, Charles Payne? Let me ask you this, Charles Payne. Did you cover any of this on your show? Charles Payne, have you had the head of the SBA on talking about them growing black American business ownership at the fastest rate over 3 decades? You have a business show. They tripled the number of SBA-backed loans to black-owned businesses. Charles, you have a business show. Awarded a record $10 billion in federal contracts to black-owned small businesses in 2023. Charles, you got a business show. You could cover all these things, Charles. I have. Charles, they've invested $17 billion in HBCUs. Charles, have you covered this on your show? Pell Grants, $170 billion in student loan debt. Charles, have you covered on your show them rooting out racial bias at home appraisals, closing the black-white home valuation disparity gap by 40%? Charles, you have a show. Have you covered any of this? Have you discussed on your show, Charles, that black wealth, even after adjusting for inflation, is up 60% relative to pre-pandemic levels, the largest increase on record? Charles, have you covered any of this on your show? I'm just curious. I'm just curious, Charles. See, again, I love it. Let me just keep going. Let me just keep going. See, Charles, I'm doing the work for you. I'm doing the work for you. As a matter of fact, Charles, I might text this to you so you can have it in your bookers. Charles, I dare you to have this on your show. Oh, I'm sorry, Charles. So you have a business show. Charles, are you aware that today the Biden-Harris Department of Justice and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau penalized Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation for redlining in black neighborhoods in Birmingham, Alabama. They allege that Fairway illegally redlined black neighborhoods, including through its marketing and sales actions. Charles, are they progressive? Are they conservative? Fairway's actions discourage people from applying for mortgage loans in the Birmingham metropolitan area's black neighborhoods. If this decision is ended by the court, the settlement announced today will require Fairway to pay a $1.9 million civil penalty to the CFPB's Evictors Relief Fund. Fairway would also be required to provide $7 million for a loan subsidy program to offer affordable home purchase, refinance, and home improvement loans in majority black neighborhoods. Let me also help you here, Charles. An analysis of this, Charles, indicates that as a result of this decision, first of all, let me help you out, Charles. And again, Charles, please, by all means, call the DOJ. Have them on to discuss this. The Biden-Harris Department of Justice, in 3 years, has achieved $150 million in mortgage relief as a result of these settlements. Every dollar generates $10 in activity, so this represents $1.5 billion. Charles, where you at? Charles, I dare you and Dana Perino and Bill Hemmer to discuss this on Fox Business, discuss this on Fox News. That happened under Biden-Harris. But see, it's amazing how y'all don't cover none of this. But you want to pontificate. Black men can't get a job. Black men not in Hollywood. Black men not in commercials. Black men not in ad agencies. And Charles, you don't cover any of these stories. And if you did, send me the video. I'll correct the record. But some tell me, you ain't never covered any of these stories. And truth be told, you never will. Mustafa, Randy, Gavin, see, this is the stuff I'm talking about. When these folk, Gavin, go on these shows and say all sorts of stuff, and they not expecting somebody's gonna clap back. Yeah, I'm not on Fox News, I'm not on Fox Business, but guess what? We damn sure gonna check the facts. Gavin?
Yeah, I was keeping track of some of these lies he was telling. So, he said, black men are gonna vote for Trump. He said they're not going to stay home, they're going to vote for Trump.
He lives a majority. Ain't no way in hell.
Majority.
First of all, the largest percentage of black men voting Republican was in 1972 at 23%. Charles, what the hell are you talking about? Majority of black men going to vote for Trump. Gavin, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, so he said a majority of black men are going to vote for Trump. That's not going to happen. And in fact, right now, Trump has made zero gains with any black voters, men, or women, since the last time around. He said that Trump has reached out to black voters since day one. I guess what he's talking about is when he took out a full-page ad to call for the death penalty for the now exonerated 5, when he alleged that Barack Obama was not a U.S. citizen and was born in Africa, when he told us that there were fine people on both sides at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. When he told us that Haiti was a shithole country. When he told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. When he started selling his gold sneakers and flaunting his mugshot. And when his RNC, led by his daughter-in-law, decided to close every single minority outreach office that the GOP supposedly opened. So, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Roland, for checking him, because Republicans be doing this. And J.D. Vance told us the other week in the debate, I didn't know y'all were fact-checking this.
Randy, these are the same people who don't believe in systemic racism, who didn't do a damn thing. And Randy, under Trump, there was one police. And see, don't try to talk about crime, Charles, and Dana and Bill. One police patterns and practice investigation under Trump, 12 under Biden-Harris. Those are what we call facts, Randy. And also, Randy, we know damn well Charles ain't done no stories on how white these ad agencies are. And trust me, they all ain't progressive.
Not at all. And he knows it. And so the shucking and jiving that he was doing, like you said, I mean, he was some Gregory Hines doing, I mean, although we shouldn't disrespect Gregory Hines that way, but the tapping that was going on. And it was, what was interesting to me is that the white anchor kind of like told him what to say and then threw the ball in his court. And they just sat there and just were like, yes, black man. Yes, you little slave boy. Do what we want you to do and say what we need you to say. And he sat up there and performed. Even his suit looked as, you know, a performance. He looked like a clown to me.
No, Charles, listen, Charles, I ain't gonna call him a slave boy. Charles wears suits like that. He wears pinstripe suits like that all the time. My whole deal is just don't lie. I mean, just don't lie.
I mean, why I say that he was acting like he was enslaved was because of the fact that he was performing for his white audience and the white anchors, and it was doing to me what they asked him to do, to the point that he was lying.
Got it.
And so anytime you feel the need to perform, that means someone else is controlling you. You are not controlling your own thoughts. And because he knows that Trump has not been a friend to the black community, especially with black men. He recently just said that he was going to give police officers immunity, which he knows.
And bring back stop and frisk.
And bring back stop and frisk, which he knows will affect us the most. The Republican Party said that when he became a felon, that was the time that black men could most relate to him, as is to suggest that's all our black men are. So to say that the reverse was quite disgusting. And so it was a performance. And so when someone else is running you, there is a slave mentality.
Mustafa, as the young folks say, he was doing too much.
He was definitely doing too much, but he was also doing what he was told to do. You know, it's sad when folks who come from our communities not only support race baiting, but actually allow it to come out of their mouths. It continues to impact our community in all kinds of ways, because for some folks who maybe have no idea about what Fox does, to see a black man sit there on that particular show and to share these untruths. Yes, they are lies. And also to have an understanding that, you know, when Trump was in, he was focused on deconstructing critical programs for our communities, making sure that we couldn't garner additional wealth. There was no actions that they put in place to help us to do that. There were no actions to help us to have more affordable housing. There was no actions to address, you know, whether it is black maternal health or the sets of disproportionate impacts that happen in our communities in relationship to health care. So they didn't do anything there. There was a neutering of anybody who was willing to stand up and say something about the injustices that they were trying to move forward on. And you still saw the neutering once again. So, you know, we know the game. We know what's up. We have to be smart enough to be able to look through this disinformation and chaos campaign that they have in place and do what's best for our community.
Indeed. All right, folks. Again, Charles, I dare you to talk about any of these things on your show. Any of those financial issues that Biden-Harris has done. I dare you to discuss that DOJ settlement and any of them, the $150 million on your show. We'll be waiting and watching, and we'll see.
They said we were dead.
Detroit waving the white flag, the city filing for bankruptcy.
That our best days were behind us. That living here is like
living in hell.
But you know what we said? We said, F that. We rebuilt ourselves. We looked out for each other, got our hands dirty, and put in the hard work. And this guy, he don't know anything about that. We are a city of winners, of up-and-comers, of builders, the Motor City. Bigger and better. Here, we believe in freedom. We don't bow down to nobody, and we never will. And so what Donald Trump doesn't understand, or care to learn, is that when he said,
our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president,
that he should be so goddamn lucky.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.